Hi everyone, it's Miss Branch here with Enrichment City, the SmARTist art lessons, and we are going to start a new project. Today, we are going to make a cactus picture using recycle envelopes that your parents are going to throw away. Yay! So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to tilt this down. Now, of course, you'll need your glue. You'll need some scissors. You can use markers or crayons. You might need something to write with just in case you feel like you need to draw it. But if you don't, you feel free to just do it your other way. Another couple of things you might need are like some bottle tops that are different sizes in case you want to do the circles a little more perfect. But you can just draw your circles. It doesn't matter how you make them. You can trace them or you can make them. Alright, so first things first, let me take these envelopes apart. I'm going to cut them apart. Ugh, come on. Really? Ugh, there we go. And I'm going to cut this part right here on the folded lines. And here, I'll cut this part off. We could probably use most of this envelope. Now this part with the plastic on, we won't be able to use that part. Let me flip over so I don't cut the plastic part. There we go. And you can save this for another project. So I'm going to put this over in my project stand. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this second one. Alright, so now I have my pieces. I'm going to use this bigger envelope piece as my background. And I'll use these smaller pieces, leftover pieces, to make the cactus. Now, the first thing first, let me go ahead and decide on my background color. Now, you can use a combination of markers and crayons if you have both. I think what I'll do is use crayons because I can color real fast, and I'm going to make a sky, make my background. So I'm just going to color really, really fast and fill that in. And I'm going to come down to a point, and I decide that this part down here will be my ground. So let me get a brown. Oh, let's see. I have a crayon stack that I bought many years ago. So I pulled it out of retirement, meaning out of my art closet, so that I have plenty of crayons handy. So now I did a blue sky and kind of a brown, deserty kind of ground. So there we go. So I have my background done. So now I'm going to make my cactus. Now to make my cactus, I'm going to need, depending on how many you want to make, this one I did 2 big ones and 2 smaller pieces and a couple of flowers. So I'm going to need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big circles and 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller circles, and that's totally up to you how you do it. And let me see. I will. When I'm going to say how you do it, meaning how many circles you want, how big you want your cactus to appear. Now notice I'm folding this in half. Sorry. And I'm going to fold this in half again so that I can get 4 pieces at a time. Now, again, I said you can just draw your circles, like so. If you rotate your hand in a circular fashion, and then when you're ready, lightly let it touch the paper, you can make a pretty decent sized circle. Now, if you are a person who needs to, feel free to find something small and round and still trace it. Now, notice They look pretty similar because you just got to take your time. It comes with practice being able to draw a circle really, really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. I like to separate when I'm cutting out two things on the same paper. And by keeping my paper folded and together, I now have my first 4 circles. And now I have another 4 circles. Now I need to make my smaller circles. So taking my other scrap piece of envelope, I'm going to fold that in half. And fold that in half again. And again, I want to make smaller circles. So again, I can rotate, 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 making a smaller circle. And lightly touch the paper. Or I can find something like this water bottle top and trace that. Makes it a little bigger than that one. And I got enough space down here. I'll go ahead and... Do I want to do that? Actually, what I want to do for my last one, because my last one is going to be my circle, my flowers, I'm going to just make a flower shape. And I will cut those out. So again, keeping my paper folded, I'm going to cut all of these out. And I'll separate them. Make it easier to cut. And you notice how I'm using the back of the scissors. And I'm just rotating the paper so that I get those. And again, using the back of the scissors. And just rotate the paper. Here we go. I'm going to move my scraps out of the way. And then my last one, I'm going to go ahead and cut my flower shapes. I have my flower shapes. So now I need to color these green. And let me lay out my circles. And just to make sure you can really see it, I'm going to use a marker to color these circles. I'm also going to color the way I showed you using the wide side of the markers. If you've seen my other videos, I'll go over how to do that again. Alright, and all these circles out, except for the flowers. The flowers are going to be another color. So all of these are going to be green. Probably next time, I probably should color the paper green first before I cut it out. So that's a note that you can do before you start cutting yours out. Now, if you notice, I'm using the wide side of the marker and just making lines in a row, side by side. And that way you get to color them quickly. Oop. And then we keep going. Almost done. Getting it on my finger, which is fine. I'll just wash my fingers once this project is over. Really on the last one. Giving me a little trouble. Alright, everyone, so now I have all my cactus parts colored. I'm going to let those dry a little bit. And I guess I'll just pick red since it's already out. And I will do my flower parts. Now, on my other one, I only did 2 flowers. But you can do as many flowers as you want. And we still got 2 more steps. We got to make the pot for our cactus to sit in. And we need to make the little spikes or the pricklies. What are they actually called? Cacti. What are they called? Briars? Huh. That's something I should look up. What are the prickly parts of cactus called? Well, the parts you don't want to get stuck with. Because they got little barbs on the end so they get caught in your skin and they hurt being pulled out. I've watched enough videos of people being idiots and landing on cactus and not making good choices. So while I'm doing that, let me go ahead and color a bit on my strip here from the envelope. I'm going to color that black so that you can really see the little spikes. Most of the time the spikes are clear. But I'm just going to go ahead and color this part black. And I'm going to flip over and do the other side too so that both sides of the cactus, little prickly parts, can be seen. And we're only doing a black so that they'll show up. Now I'm not doing this whole piece of paper because we don't need that many. So that's why I only did a little bit. And that'll tell me where to stop cutting. And the last piece, that little piece from that front of the envelope, I'm going to fold this in half so that I can make my vase symmetrical. Now you, being the artist, you can come up with whatever kind of vase. And you get to decide, do you want it to be wide? How's it going to fit on your paper? Is it going to look tall? It's up to you how you want your cactus or your flower pot. It doesn't have to be a vase. Flower pot is going to look. So you know what? I'm going to come in a little bit. And come out, and then come up, and I think that should be tall enough for me. So when I open it up, I have an interesting shaped flower pot. So now, using some more markers, let's see, I think I'll use some purple, some orange, and some yellow. So let's see, I'll do yellow across my top, and yellow across my bottom. And I'll do a stripe of orange right underneath that yellow. Stripe of orange, and I'll do a stripe of yellow in the middle. And then I'll just do a stripe. And again, I'm still using just the wide side of the marker. So I'm really just coloring it in by just drawing some lines. And get close to these edges. Now I can use the tip of my marker instead of the wide side. And I just made my pot. So now, I have my background that I've already colored. And I'm going to take my pot. And I'm not going to stick it on this line here. And this line is actually called a horizon line. It's where the sky and the ground meets. It's called a horizon line. And horizon lines don't just have to be straight. They can be like the top of mountains, the top of buildings, top of trees. Whatever is furthest away in the distance where it looks like the sky and the ground is meeting, or the things on the ground are meeting, that's called the horizon line. Now I don't want this to be on this line. So I'm going to come down just a little bit so that it looks like it's in the foreground a little bit more. So, using my glue, and not a lot, just a dot, a dab of glue will do. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put 5, 1 in the middle for good measure. And I will come down past that line just a little bit. And there I have my vase. Now I need to make my cactus. Now you're going to have two, for every circle, you need to fold them in half. Fold them in half with the non-colored side on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and fold them all in half. So that part's done. And again, even though you did all of these circles, you don't have to use them all. You can use whatever you want, how many or how few you want, because you are the artist. So you get to make up your mind and you get to arrange it how you want it to look. Let's see, I'm putting a couple of ones that are the same size together. I'm folding it so I can go a little faster. Let's see, get all the little ones. And now I'm going to fold those in half. Now I'm pinching on the folded line so that I can make a crease so that the folds stay together. Now, time for the glue. I'm going to glue every two of these together. So I'll put a little bit of glue on one side and take another one the same size. Actually, this one's a little smaller. Let me switch that up. Let me find one that's the same size as this one. I guess this one must have been one I drew versus one that I traced. Let's slide you down a little bit. There we go. So, we got one. Then I'm going to put them together so that it sticks up off the sides. And let me go ahead and glue this one that has the glue on it together with this one. Two. Okay. Let me match them up. That's probably a good idea. Alright, so you two are the same size. You two are the same size. Oh, I already glued that one. I was like, why is this one not moving? Okay, you two are the same size. You two are the same size. You two. You two. You two. Got it. Oops. Got it. So let me go and do this a little quicker. I'm going to put a couple of dots on one of them, and then I'll come back and glue them all together. So I'm getting all the glue part out of the way. And I probably don't even need to put 2 dots on those smaller ones. They probably could get away with 1 dot. So now I can put the 2 sides together, put them together. And then when they open up, it makes this little piece right here. You have this piece here in the middle. And go ahead and line it up. I'm going to hurry up and get through all of this part so we can go on to the next part. Alright, there's that done. I missed one. Okay, I'll get this one. I must have glued 2 glued pieces together. And it's still not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. Now you get to decide how you want your cactus to look. Do I want a big one? We can start with a second big one. Another big. Put a little. And I'll put a big one. And then a little. Then a really little one. And a little one there. And I don't think I want to use all of them. I think I'll go to this one. Let that one be taller than this one. Yeah. So I decide I don't want to use that one. So now I get to glue them down. Again, not a lot, just a dot. Dab of glue will do. And I'm going to just put a couple of dots on the bottom. And you can rub it a little bit or smush it around, and that'll spread the glue too. There must have been some glue on that one. Left over or leaked out from the middle. There. Now my next step, I'm going to put my flowers on, and then I'll get to the thorns. Now my flowers, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a little cut about halfway on the flowers, and then on one of these little flaps that I cut, I'm going to put a little dot of glue, and then I'm going to fold it over, and it makes the flower make like a little bowl, like it's a real flower. So you get the flower shape. And then I put another little dot of glue, and I get to pick where I want my flower to go. So there's nice. And we'll do another one. Again, cut about middle of the flower. A little dot of glue. You gotta wait for the glue to come down. I'm gonna go ahead and put, nope, I don't want to put the dot on yet, then I'll just get glue all over my fingers. Then fold it over, making it like a little bold. And then, did I put a D on the end of the word bold? A little bowl, not a bold, as in bold colors. A bowl, B-O-W-L, not B-O-L-D. That's what it sounded like I said. I think I'll give it a third flower. And I can use all my flowers. It's up to you, as the artist, how many you want to give it, and how few. And then I think I'll have that one up here at the top. I probably should have colored both sides of the flower now that I'm looking at it, since I have that one sticking out there, but it's fine. So far I have my symmetrical flower pot, my cactus plants, and now I need to do the little spikes that are on a cactus. And I don't have to do that many. I can just do a few, or I can do a lot. And all I'm going to do on this part that I colored black, I'm going to just cut little triangles. You know what? Let me use that last little piece so I can cut them on there so I can find them easier. I'm going to cut this white strip part off first. That makes more sense. There we go. And now I can just go diagonal cuts back and forth. And, oh well, there you go. Some of them are going, some of them are landing where I expected them to land. It's okay. I will find them. I'm just cutting like I'm cutting little V's, or little A's, or W's. And I think I'll stop right here, and let's see how it goes. So now, this time I'm going to have to put a little glue on my finger because they're so small. So I have my little dot of glue on my finger. And now I could just dip them in that little bit of glue and stick them on. You could put a lot or you could put a little. You as the artist get to make up your mind how you want it to look. And I'm getting it all on my other finger, the glue. Move that out the way so I don't accidentally cut myself. Now, the reason why cactus has the spikes is to protect it from other bugs and animals that will eat it. And I've seen cactus in the grocery store. I've never eaten it myself, but I'm quite sure it will be an interesting taste once I get around to eating some. So, I'm going to go ahead. And now, I probably could use a few more, but I'm going to stop here to give you a chance to work on yours. And again, take your time. Pause your video if you need to see how to do something again. And bam. And ta-da! You have now created a cactus painting, or a picture, not a painting, because we didn't paint, we used markers, of cactus. You made a cactus that can hang nicely on your wall and doesn't take up that much space. And if you've got more envelopes, feel free to make some more, add some more cactus, add more spikes, or even more flowers. It is up to you as the artist. Alright everyone, see you later. Bye!